And it's funny that you mentioned LSU because it's like I keep laughing my butt off at Brian Kelly where he goes, "Oh, I'm leaving Notre Dame for LSU because I'll have an easier shot at winning a national title." But then it's like earlier this week, which I think he was talking with Brandon Marcello from 247 Sports or somebody, I'm not sure, but he was saying, "I never said that." Whatever. Roll the film up, Jamie.
Yeah, I was about to say we have the receipts. He definitely said it. He definitely look. It is interesting watching Brian Kelly coach down at LSU because you hear some of the the excuses that are being made, stuff about the transfer portal and recruiting's hard, and when he's not the head coach of your team, it sounds ridiculous. But when he is the head coach of your team, like he was at Notre Dame for so long, you buy into it a little bit because, like, well, I mean, if that's what the coach is saying, I mean, he's the head coach of this team. I'm not, so obviously he's seeing things that I'm not. But, he went to LSU because recruiting at Notre Dame is hard and he had to shop down a specific aisle and all this other stuff, all things that he's been quoted at saying. And the same things are starting to follow him now to LSU. And it is interesting looking at it outside in now when he's not your coach that's speaking about it. So it's definitely interesting to say the least.
Oh yeah, and he will never lead LSU to a playoff victory. That I can guarantee. We will never see that in Baton Rouge as long as Brian Kelly's the head coach. We're not seeing an SEC title. I mean, we may see them finish in top four. We may see them in the playoffs, but there's not going to be a single playoff victory in Baton Rouge as long as Brian Kelly's head coach. And LSU fans, they are wondering, why did we bring this guy again? I mean, this has Jimbo Fisher vibes written all over it.
No, that's a good comparison. I mean, look, when Brian Kelly was in South Bend, it was always tampering down the expectations, right? To the point where if he were to exceed the expectations that he set upon himself, it was supposed to be this miraculous victory, right? And I will say, and as tough as it is, I'm somebody that will always give credit where credit is due. Brian Kelly had multiple undefeated seasons at Notre Dame, took him to multiple playoffs. But again, the issue was, like we've talked about, they were never able to win those games.
Nope.
And it was always, a lot of hats were hung on moral victories. Notre Dame goes and gets blown out in the playoffs, but then the narrative isn't they got blown out in the playoffs. It was, well, we didn't get blown out as bad as that team, which is a dark place to live. That's not where you want to be. So this season, the way that it's unfolded for Notre Dame has been I can't even say a breath of fresh air because I never knew what that air tasted like prior to Marcus Freeman doing what he did this season. So it's definitely been really fun to be a part of. It's been a crazy ride, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean he's been making magic for Notre Dame, and it's like Brian Kelly could not win those big games. Charlie Weiss, we know he couldn't. He's just like,
yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I saw that facial expression quite a bit. That was like my introduction to college football was Charlie Weiss being Notre Dame's head coach.
Oh no,
you
poor thing, man.
Yeah, it's been a long road for us Notre Dame fans, man. But if you would have told me that I had to go through the years of what I experienced to get to this point now and watching this team do what they're doing, I'd probably take you up on it because it's weird. Like I'm in a spot legitimately where I've never been as a college football fan because I cover the team and I work as an analyst with Brian and I'm a staff writer, but at the end of the day, I'm still a Notre Dame fan, and that to me has been really exciting to watch how this team's responded all year. I mean, even in the moments where I'm like, it's over, they're done, the magic's run out, they just find another way to keep winning, and it's because they have really good coaches and really good players.